look like that, it's fine.
But I don't like to look down. I prefer.
We're on.
We'll fix it. Hello, everybody. Tom Trento here on a wonderful Friday afternoon in South Florida. This is TrentoVision. Thank you for joining us today. We have a very interesting show. The best way to start this show, Freaky Friday Jum'ah Jam. Today is Freaky Friday Jum'ah Jam. Best way to start this is with a little bit of soul.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله لا إله إلا الله.
Back to Freaky Friday.
Muhammad.
Yeah, Freaky Friday Jum'ah Jam. A little more soul. Let's listen. Okay. Pretty cool.
Fantastic.
You like that, Imam
I love that.
Is that the most beautiful sound in the world?
That's music to your ears.
Absolutely. I just tell Mr. Trento before it is the most beautiful sound in the world.
Good. We're glad because I'm going to tell you today a little bit about Jumu'ah Friday, Jumu'ah Prayer Fridays.
Yes, please.
I think you're going to be very interested in what's behind Jumu'ah Friday. Well, today's Freaky Friday Jumu'ah Jam, and we have some Jumu'ah stuff for you. We're gonna dive into some of the traditions and prayers that are critically important for Islam on Fridays. Give you a little insight into why the dedication is there. 3 strikes. Remember what I say. 3 strikes. 3 strikes, everybody. 3 strikes, and you're out. Jumu'ah prayer. Tell you about that in a little bit. And then after that, we're going to take a little ride across the globe and visit our good friend, Kim Jong Un.
Oh, boy.
And his wild and wacky ways as he's moving missiles to, I don't know, blow up Japan or maybe Guam or Alaska or...
He wants to blow up North Korea and the United States.
But, you know, it's very
South
interesting.
Korea,
It's very interesting.
And the United States.
It's very interesting because all the analysts are saying, well, they can't reach the United States. Well, you ever hear of a boat? You ever hear of a boat? You put a missile on a boat and you bring it off the coast of New York or anywhere. So...
We're all cargo coming into the ports and not getting checked.
We're all worried about the Iranians doing that. Who do you think is working with these guys? But that's a little bit later in our Freaky Friday Jum'ah Jam show. And then we're going to, our final segment today in our 1 hour, quick-paced, quickly moving show, our 1 hour show. Our third segment of our 1 hour show is entitled, Can Two Boobs Outboob a Boob?
Now, I said yes right away.
Well...
But then you showed me the pictures.
That's going to be... it's not quite X-rated.
Are you going to have to post the link for that, or you're not going to show it,
It's not quite X-rated. We may slip. We may slip and have a technical malfunction. Yeah, a technical malfunction. And let the folks take a peek. We may or we may not. You have to stay tuned to find out. But how's everybody doing today? Yeah, you had a mess getting here, didn't you?
Yeah. Lots of accidents on the way to the bunker. But I'm actually kind of curious about what your T-shirt says there.
Nothing.
Don't hide your boobs.
Oh, right. My shirt?
Yeah, your shirt.
Okay, I'll show it to you. Here. All right, we're going to go over here. Now, this camera here. Number 1 camera. There we go.
What's that say?
What's it
It
say?
says, leave the gun. Take the cannolis.
Leave the gun and take the cannolis.
Leave the gun and take the cannolis.
Yeah,
That's
wait.
from The Godfather.
Oh, I was going to find out if the audience knew, but that's okay. It's from that movie about those people that don't exist. Somebody gave me this as a gift, and I thought, what better day to wear? Keep the gun, leave the gun, take the cannolis than on Freaky Friday Jum'ah Prayer, Jum'ah Jam. So what we're doing, folks, Tom Trento, TrentoVision.tv, WNN. If you're listening on the radio, WNN 1470, way on the right-hand side of your dial, broadcasting 50,000 horsepower, even on a rainy day, out of Boca Raton, Florida. We are national security. We make jihad fun in many respects.
True today, I guess.
We deal with some extremely serious national security issues, Islamic jihad, Muslim Brotherhood, immigration problems, the sieve of a border we have where the Hamas and Hezbollah come through. We look at global issues. We stand with the state of Israel. We defend the United States Constitution. Very serious, very critically important stuff. But once in a while, we put our hair down a little bit and try to take some of this stuff with a grain of salt, because you can jump off a bridge, the closest bridge, if you really understand what's going on. But we're a phenomenal country. We have tremendous resilience, notwithstanding this this two-bit administration that we have that's more concerned about a socialistic agenda than the national security of the country. We'll manage. We'll get through these difficult days, and we'll rise once again. But let's pray. Let's pray that that this administration can understand the grievous and deep nature of the threats that are out there. This guy, Kim Jong Un, 30 years old, 29 years old, psychotic or not, the guy's got big toys. He can cause a lot of damage, and this has to be handled properly. And so far, this administration seems to be doing the proper things. But we're gonna get into that in a second segment. But we want you to know that we are like PBS. We are supported by your donations. So if on this 5th day of April you're so inclined to do something like that, we would appreciate it. You can go to TrentoVision.tv, and it says donate securely. We appreciate any size donation. We stretch the money. Everybody's a volunteer here, and we make things happen. Our sister organization, The United West, is an activism, a counter-terrorism activism organization where we take the ideological fight to the bad guys. We go into their places of residence and public meetings, and we bust them up, all legally. We expose them for the dangerous and deadly people they are with their ideology and with their belief system. They're simply, the Muslim Brotherhood in America is Al-Qaeda in Armani. Did you get that? You take an Al-Qaeda mujahideen out of the Wardunk Valley in Afghanistan and put him on an airplane, get him in New York, clean him up, put an Armani suit on him. He's a Muslim brother. And the only difference is he says, I don't need to blow these people up to take over this country.
That's right. They'll just capitulate and submit.
Yeah, we run the White House. We do this. We got our guys in every part of the administration. We're in the state governments. We're in the human rights commissions. We hate the she-devil Pamela Geller, and we're winning.
And we've been doing all this interfaith bridge building nonsense for quite a while. So
and the dopey Christians and Jews are buying it.
That's right.
And in addition to our hourly show, 5 to 6 weekdays, we're going to be doing a series of specials. The one in the can right now that's being produced is on the EMP, electromagnetic pulse. We got some big names, big, highly recognizable names. We'll show you that in about mid-May. That will be done. And we're just going to have a grand old time. But right now, we want to go to Freaky Friday Jum'ah Jam. And what I'd like to show you, see, we're at our heart, we're educators, we're educators. We like to provide education for even people like Imam Abdullah. How's our education coming with you, Abdullah?
Fantastic. I've been able to tell me much of your Western theories of thought, which of course do not meld well with my own.
All right, well, let's go to the Mideast. Come to my screen, and what do you think of this country?
I love that country.
What do you love about Saudi Arabia?
I love the Wahhabists. I love the fact that women have no rights. I love the fact that they fund worldwide jihad, most of all. It is just a fantastic place. Now, the ruling family will soon go down the toilet, like your Mubarak, and your Gaddafi, but the country as a whole is fantastic.
Oh, good. Well, let's take a look at when we're going to talk about Friday Jum'ah prayers.
Oh, may I add one thing?
What?
During the week I did not like this 1 hour. Today I love the 1 hour. I got to go to my Jumu'ah prayers.
Oh, that's right. Around
Oh,
noontime,
fantastic! Rejuvenated,
Oh, okay, good.
invigorated, ready for jihad.
A rejuvenated Abdullah. What do you think of that?
Oh,
Yeah, great. All right, anyway,
that's
take a
just
look.
what the world needs.
Yeah, just what the world needs. A rejuvenated
That's just
Abdullah.
what we need here.
This is a website.
I could see him smiling from under the lights. I
This
mean,
is a
it's pretty
website
Scary.
It produced
Just the teeth.
produced by the royal government of Saudi Arabia, and they lay out basically the 5 pillars of Islam. And if you can see right there, Islam has 5 primary obligations or pillars of faith that each Muslim must follow in his or her lifetime. They are as follows. And, some of our followers and fans and listeners, they're very familiar with this, but some are just getting into the jihad. The first pillar is the shahada, which is their profession of faith. And as it says there is no God but God, and Muhammad is the messenger of God. That's it. If you from a truthful position in your heart, you want to become a Muslim, you say that, guess what, folks? You just convert it or revert it.
See how easy it is?
It's easy. Now you're in for a whole lifetime of fun. The second pillar is salah, prayer. That's what we're going to talk about today. The third pillar is zakat.
Zakat.
Yeah, that's giving tithing. We're in the Christian world, Jewish world is tithing too.
Terror funding.
Yes.
Terror funding, a little bit of that in there.
Yeah.
Psalm is the fourth pillar, fasting. And you fast during the month of Ramadan when the Quran was
Yeah,
translated or
you only fast
given.
during the day, then you get to eat at night.
You can feast and
Yeah.
do what you want. And then the fifth pillar is the Hajj. That is the trip to Mecca. Every Muslim in their lifetime, if they're capable physically, they got to take a trip to the Hajj. It is critical to do that. But have you ever seen the stay right there, the Muslims praying? What does it look like when they're praying, when they take out their prayer rugs and all of that?
Looks like they're bowing and beating their heads on the floor.
Yeah, well, that's called a rakat, right? And the rakat is 4 positions. It's 4 positions.
Mm-hmm.
First position is standing, and you say a couple of verses, Quranic verses.
Okay, no
standing.
Kama Sutra jokes here, right?
No Kama Sutra jokes. The second position, you bow down, and you see they get on their hands and their knees,
Mm-hmm.
their knees and their and their arms. And then the third position is prostrate, where they touch their head. Your head and your nose has to touch the ground. You ever see the jihadis with the big bump on
They
their
have
head?
a big lump there, yeah.
It's called a zabida.
They
Zabida.
pray a lot,
Prayer bump.
yeah.
That is a badge of honor. If you freaking banged your head on the ground enough
Yeah.
in prayer where you got a big callus,
Yeah.
you are super duper religious.
And that's a clue for the rest
Or
of
you
us,
love
too.
Metallica.
Or you love Metallica. Yeah, either one of those.
It's next.
Yeah, and the fourth position is returning to a sitting position. They sit there with their knees, their legs folded.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those 4 positions, standing, bowing, prostrate, and sitting, that's called a rakat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now follow along, kids. That's 1 rakat when you go through those 4 various procedures. And if you want to go into Sharia, into Reliance,
Right.
every move is described and how long and how you have to bow, and every little detail is required to have a perfect rakat, right?
Okay.
Okay, stick with me. Now we come to Mike, come to my screen. I'm going to show you something interesting here.
Yeah, you're not going to play the Macarena, are you?
There's 5 times that Muslims pray. Jews pray, what, 3 times a day?
Yeah.
Christians, the command of the New Testament is to be constantly in a state of prayer. There is no required daily prayer. It is to be in an attitude
And you
of
get
prayer.
to eat bacon. So
And you can eat bacon!
So
All
if you're going
right.
to convert,
Yes.
become a Christian, don't become a Muslim.
That's right, man. bacon and pork chops and spare ribs. Oh, God, I can never be a Muslim. Even Jewish, I can never do it, even though people think I'm Jewish. Farj, the first prayer on my screen here, is Farj, the dawn prayer, 2 rakats. You got to go through those 4 steps twice.
Okay.
Dura, the midday or afternoon prayer, how many? Oh, you don't have anything in front of you.
Yeah.
4 rakats. So you gotta go through that whole thing 4 times. So 4 steps, 4 times. That's a long one. Asr, the late afternoon prayer, 4 rakats. Maghrib, the evening prayer, 3 rakats. And Isha, the night prayer, 4 rakats plus 3 rakats of a compulsory writ prayer. You following? 2, 4, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 of those 4-step processes per day. What a way to keep somebody pointed in the right, in a direction. Now add Friday prayer, 2 obligatory rakats is offered in place of the afternoon prayer on Friday. And it's supposed to be in a congregation. So Muslims pray 5 times a day. That's their requirement. On Friday, though, it's very special. Why is it special on Friday? Well, let's take a look. Come to my screen, Mike. Jumu'ah means Friday prayer. The word Jumu'ah means Friday prayer. And on Fridays, they're required to pray. It's a congregational prayer held every Friday. And it is held because the Quran says, O ye who believe, when the call is proclaimed to prayer on Friday, the day of assembly, hasten earnestly to the remembrance of Allah and leave all business and traffic. That is the best for you if you knew. And when the prayer is finished, then ye may disperse through the land and seek the bounty of Allah and celebrate the praises of Allah, that ye may prosper. So back to me, Muslims are required on Friday to do this Jumu'ah prayer. Have anybody ever been to it? I've been to it in several places, but I've been to it in Paris.
It is lovely, no?
Well, they do it on the streets there.
Yeah.
We saw it in Israel.
We did. We saw it in Israel too. Muslims praying on a Friday in Israel, and it's very big and very involved. And you wonder what is so big about this. And it's also we've all seen.
They have their big weekly sermon, isn't it?
They have 2 sermons. There are 2 sermons on Jumu'ah prayer, and there's a longer sermon and a short sermon, and many of the very Sharia compliant mosques, they will use, because Friday is their first day of the week. You know, that's they start their week on Friday. Jewish people worship on Saturday. They end their week on
Friday.
Well, their worship service.
They end their week on Friday, and then their week starts on Saturday. So, like for Jewish.
But in Christian world, our first day of the week is Sunday. Believe it or not, it's not Monday. The first day of the week for Christians is Sunday.
Same for Jewish people.
Yeah, okay. We're the same.
We're so close.
Oh, we're so
but
close. Not that close. It's that little
enough.
Jesus thing that gets in the way. Yeah. But many of the Sharia compliant mosques use Friday when everybody is there, and when there's an obligation to be there. You're obligated to be there for Jumu'ah prayer. They use that to do what? Well, yeah, let's ask the Muslim. They do that. Use it to what?
We do that to worship Allah.
Yeah.
To get just to feel the closeness to God.
Yeah.
We also get very excited. It's like a whole rejuvenation. We get all crazy.
That's when they get called to jihad, isn't it?
Yes. We love to slaughter the Jews on Saturday and the Christians on Sunday.
And then in the United States, they get their instructions of how to infiltrate and subvert their communities during those prayers.
Well, that happens on Friday, because we've infiltrated many mosques, we being friends of ours.
So that's when they tell, like the younger, that's when they tell the college-age girls, wear a hijab when you go to class, keep yourself covered. It's intimidation in the community. They tell all
ain't no girls at Jumu'ah prayer. No girls allowed at Jumu'ah.
No, but they get their instructions in the other room.
Separate part of mosque.
No women on Jumu'ah. No separation, no women on Jumu'ah.
No, but they
It
get
is.
their instructions. On
When they go to the
Fridays.
mosque,
Yeah.
it's separate. But on Jumu'ah, only men. No women
Oh,
allowed.
they don't
No
get to
women
go.
allowed. This is a man's day. No women
Uh-huh.
allowed.
Are they home cooking, or what are they supposed to be doing?
Okay. But here's the interesting part. This is why there is such commitment and fear. People are committed because they have a love for someone else and they want to do the best for that person and they're committed. Or they have a fear about something and they're forced to do something else.
Okay.
Islam is a belief system of fear. Here's why. Take a look at my screen, Mike. Jumu'ah prayer. And we can get into this in detail another time. But if you miss Jumu'ah prayer 3 times in a row, guess what, folks?
You have to get stoned.
Worse.
Oh, no.
You're done for.
What do you mean you're done for?
I kill you.
Allah seals your heart and puts a stamp on you. You are forsaken, and there is a tiny little possibility of redemption. You are cast away, and you are no good anymore as a human being.
Filth.
If you miss 3 Jumu'ah prayers in a row, watch this. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh. Did you just put the camera on me when I was looking at it with my mouth open?
Yeah, you had a great face on it.
Oh no, that's not right.
Sorry.
A question is asked here, and I just want to go into the verses in the red. The question is, if we miss 3 Jumu'ah Friday prayers in a row, what happens? O ye who believe, this is out of the Quran now. When the call is proclaimed on Friday, the day of assembly, you're supposed to go. When the prayer is finished, disperse, which we just read. But when they see some bargain or some amusement, they disperse headlong to it and leave thee standing. Say, blessing from the presence of Allah. It's better than amusement or bargain. Allah is the best to provide. So don't be sidetracked by anything but Jumu'ah prayer. Get there. You've got to leave all worldly pursuits and earnestly attend the Friday midday sermon and congregational prayer. It is an absolute obligatory command of the Lord Most High upon those who have professed belief in Him and the last day. And then they go into the Quran. Then they go into several commentators, including Muslim, a famous commentator, and Bukhari. And Bukhari and Muslims say basically if one has missed the Friday midday congregational prayer in the mosques for whatever reason, one should seek sincere forgiveness from the Lord for missing the obligatory congregational prayer, and their atonement is to offer a 4 rak'ah prayer. What's a 4 rak'ah prayer?
4 times to the 4
They
motions.
bang their heads.
Doing the
4
4
times.
steps, standing, bowing, prostrate, sitting, 4 times.
Bang your
You got to do
head.
that in lieu of missing it. In light of the above narration of the Messenger of Allah, and any person who intentionally misses 3 consecutive Friday prayers without a valid reason, Allah will seal or put a stamp on his heart. And when you check that out, which I did, what that means is Allah seals your heart from knowing the truth, seals your heart from having a relationship as a Muslim, puts a stamp on you that you are no good. You are cast out because you missed 3 times in a row. Sad. Very, very sad. If you're a Muslim listening to us right now,
I wonder if Zudi has ever missed 3 times.
you know, any Muslim, this is for men primarily. I don't know.
Well, obviously, because
Yeah.
you said women don't
Yeah.
count. Women are exempt.
If you're a Muslim and you've missed, now what they'll do is they'll play games. They'll say, well, I didn't do it
Well, it says
intentionally.
for any good reason.
Yeah.
So I guess they could get a doctor's note, or they could get an imam note, or they probably can get notes.
They can
for,
fool Allah.
They can, no, they
There
can
is
get,
no fooling Allah.
Oh, okay.
They can get notes because they're, especially if they're living outside of a Sharia compliant country, then they would have to be able to stay at their jobs, and they wouldn't be allowed to leave. So that would be, they would get a special dispensation
I'm sure
for that.
I'll tell you what, they're going to do everything they possibly can to never be in a position where they've intentionally missed 3 consecutive Friday prayers. But just look at this for a second. It's bondage. This is not freedom. my faith, Christianity, you are free. The best way to look at a relationship between God and man is a father and a son. This is a father saying, I want you to come over here and do exactly what I tell you. You know, and if you miss that 3 days and you didn't want to be here, you are forever, you're cast out of my life, you're thrown away, you're worthless. That's what this means. And that is a father lacking a tremendous amount of love, compassion, forgiveness. And this is serious stuff. I mean, this is, you're done for as a Muslim. So I would bet there's something in here that says if you go to jihad, I know
you
it is.
absolve yourself
Yeah.
through jihad.
If you die in a holy war through jihad,
Right.
you are translated immediately, and anything you've done wrong all your life, you've made it. If you
72 virgins.
yep. I mean,
or you might think to yourself, well, I'm already done for. I might as well risk
Go
being
for
an
it.
apostate.
yep. So a little bit of Freaky Friday Jum'ah Prayer, folks.
Oh,
just a little
gosh.
insight into Islam. Now, we invite any Muslim, any scholar, any imam to give us a call. Tom at TrentoVision.tv. Come on the
Schedule
show.
it after Jumu'ah prayers on Friday,
Yeah.
if you like.
Come on the show. We can discuss this, debate this. You can say, oh, no, you're so wrong. Well, we'll look at Bukhari. We'll look at Muslim. We'll look at the Quran. We'll look at your authoritative doctrine. And we'll see. But it's bondage. This is bondage. And if that's the kind of life you want to live, a life of bondage, fine. But our boob ladies, in a little bit, are tired of this kind of bondage. And they're freeing themselves. More than we're comfortable with. But, it's an interesting world. All right, the next segment here on TrentoVision.tv and WNN 1470. The next segment is we're going to go visit our wild and wacky friend, Kimmy. And the best way to do that is to first take a look at this crazy country. Mike, come here for a second. All right, here's Korea again. So we're making a little switch here, folks, to the Korean Peninsula. So you get your geography straight. You're on TrentoVision with Tom Trento, CJ, Mike Damon, a whole bunch of other people inside
The
Damon's
fabulous
head.
Bunker Boys.
We miss Mark. He's away right now, but I think he's through
He's
the
with us.
technology
Yeah.
of electrons and neutrons and protons. He's with us.
Hello, member Big Brain.
Okay, that's good. There you see North Korea, South Korea. And the problem is coming out of North Korea. If you look carefully on top of North Korea, is that country called Walmart. The country of Walmart is right above North Korea, or China Mart, which is like one of my favorite stores. I mean, the store is amazing. But China's up there, and a little bit to the northeast corner, we have a little piece of land that is called Russia.
Russia.
So you got some nice neighbors.
Actually, it's like a 19-mile long border.
19 miles, okay. So we got some of that going on right up here. Well,
Wow,
here's
how
what just
did you do
happened
that?
yesterday. We're hearing, and we've given you a lot of information on this, but we've been hearing a lot of bluster from Kim Jong Un. Well, this is the East Coast right here, this whole thing here. He just moved some missiles, intercontinental. Well, everybody's trying to figure out what kind of missiles. But he moved some missiles to this coast here. And if you notice, when we pull out of our map, we got Japan across the Sea of Japan. We've got South Korea down here. And due south of North Korea, when you pull out too far, you can't see it. But due south is at our little base at Guam.
Careful you not tip over.
We do have to get that video. You
I had
that-
the video.
You got that
I
video?
pour up again.
How long? Yeah, pull it up, and if we got time,
find again.
That was fabulous. So everybody is now, everybody, meaning the Europeans, meaning the Asians, obviously, Australia, the Middle East, even the White House is starting to go, what the heck is going on here? Because some of the extremely experienced diplomats who were with Republican administrations are saying the rhetoric and the bluster of Kim Jong Un has exceeded anything they've ever heard.
Well, he's establishing his street creds. He's a new guy in charge. He's young. He wasn't the expected chosen one, so he has to establish himself.
Yeah, and Mike, if you come to this screen, you got it. How long is it?
248.
We can't do it
quite
today,
long.
but yeah, we can't do it
Yeah.
today.
I go find right spot.
Okay. North Korea moves, this is a Fox report, North Korea moves missile launchers and issues safety warnings to foreign embassies. There are still
Are
foreign
there still
countries.
embassies in
yeah.
North Korea?
Yeah.
Wow, do we have one?
No, we don't. No. But they issued warnings to some of their embassies and said, you better get out of here. We can't protect you. There may be war. And some of the language isn't, there may be war. War is going to break out. It's just a matter of time. And as you go through this very interesting article here, we're consulting, the UK says we're consulting with our international partners because the UK has an office there. And they're going, what are we supposed to do? And Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea, is basically saying, sorry, the armistice is over from 50 to 53 where we had an agreement not to fight.
Right.
But we're still in a state of war. But it's
Exactly. An
it's just-
armistice
yeah,
is just we're
yeah.
putting our weapons down. It's not we have declared peace amongst ourselves.
And the rhetoric is off the charts, said Victor Cha, former director of Asian Affairs from the White House National Security Team. And, and the White House is trying to figure out what to do. Now, some of the thinking with Kim Jong Un, some of the thinking is that he has. We're good. We're good on time. Some of the thinking is that it's springtime. It's springtime in Korea, and the people are coming out of their homes, and they want to eat. They want to go out, but there's no food. There's no transportation. So you got to kind of distract them because they've been inside all winter.
Right.
What better way to
Right.
distract them?
And every time the North Koreans threaten the South Koreans or the West gets together and sends them more food,
Something.
more humanitarian assistance.
Okay,
So
but
maybe they all just are hungry, and so they say, okay, we're going to nuke you, so we should just send them more food, and then they'll be quiet while they're chewing.
yeah, exactly. And then don't come here yet, Mike. But I got to show you
But
this.
don't stay on me.
No, it's okay. But I got to show you this. This is pretty interesting. We sent this email out last night. And come on here, Mike. What do you think that says? Don't say it. What do you think it says? It's Korean.
It's
And it is
Korean.
actually the Korean word for the bad word that starts with a...
For copulate with yourself, Obama.
Yes. Starts with an F. That's the F word right there.
Yeah.
F-U, Obama. And then we say, America, we're screwed. Look at President Obama getting
In
ready
his
for
mom
war.
jeans.
Yep. Getting ready for war. He has his war helmet on. And he's got his war bicycle with... I don't know what kind of fender that is. Mike, you're a bike guy. What kind of fender is that in the back?
That I've never seen one like that. I can't tell if it's a fender or if it. I don't know.
Imam Abdullah, does he strike fear into your heart on that war stance, President Obama on our screen? And for our audio
Yes.
listeners, for our radio listeners,
If he's going to
He does
war,
not look scary to me.
if he's going to war against the stuff that comes out of like AC units, like Freon or whatever, that destroys the ozone layer, then yeah, he's terrifying.
we have a picture of President Obama on a nice spring day, right
It
by
does
the.
not look like a strong horse.
No, that's a good point. On his little girly bike with a little girly fender, he's got his little safety hat on, his mom jeans, riding by the cherry blossoms on a beautiful spring day in Washington.
Commander-in-Chief.
Yes, he is. Now here's who he has to deal with. Supreme Marshal Kim Jong Un. Talk about strong horses. But I got to admit that horse looks like it's stuffed or something. But here's
It's like a merry-go-round horse.
Yeah. That's what it looks like. Here's the deal. This is the guy that
He
has to
says,
handle
I'm
this
in
guy.
charge and I want all my horses painted like they're on a merry-go-round.
And this guy's got nothing to lose. We're looking at, for the drivers, we're looking at a picture of Obama on a little girly bicycle and Kim Jong Un on this
Yeah.
unbelievable stallion. The shot is shot from the bottom up, very
you know
majestic.
What? I tell you one thing. I'm gonna have to go against you a little bit on this, because for as long as I've been aware of, there's been no U.S. president who has had any luck or any clue or any idea of how to deal with the North Koreans, including Obama. So it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican, if you're George Bush the first, the second, or the third, or the junior, it doesn't matter. If you're Clinton, if you're Obama, makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. You do not know how to deal with
That's a good point, but Obama is flying the airplane, and this is the battle.
Yeah, but he's at the problem is he's at the controls now, and now it's more serious because now Iran is
the problem. I solved the problem. Actually, I didn't solve the problem.
You solved it? You fixed it?
I found the solution to the problem.
Yeah, you're
right
going to
here.
send them
Here
some
we go.
cannolis?
This is Obama's hope for America. There you go. And on the screen, for those of you who don't have the privilege of looking at what we're showing, it's a picture of Dennis Rodman, Obama's community basketball organizer. But yeah, I don't know. You describe that. You can probably
I
describe
thought that was Kim Jong Un, brother.
You could probably describe it better
Well,
than
he's
me.
wearing his fabulous hot pink feathered boa.
His hair is dyed white.
His hair is white. Oh my gosh, my screen is slower than.
He's got makeup on, that theatrical makeup. He's I don't know what he's doing. He's looking like trying to dress like a woman.
He looks like he's auditioning for Priscilla in the Desert or something like
perfect.
that is what he looks like.
But this is graphically, we laid out this email last night to show that Kim Jong Un really has nothing to lose in many respects. He doesn't have a country. There's nothing there.
Right.
His father has put billions of dollars aside. He could be on a jet tomorrow and be under a different identity in Switzerland or something. So
and because they all look alike anyway, nobody
will know. So
And it look like he have tall, dark, handsome boyfriend.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's fine. He'll be good the rest of his life. But he could be the person that goes down in history that fought America.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all they have to do is fight in these two-bit countries,
Mm-hmm.
and you're a hero for life. But he's up against President Obama, who wants to build a social society, build an immigrant-based society, build a Democrat Party for the next 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Obama doesn't want to deal with this stuff. So we got Rodman in the mix, but here's really
Well, that's really only because Sean Penn took a pass on it.
That's true.
He's still in mourning.
Here's the key to the whole thing on this email that we sent out. This is a lesson for two-bit dictators. And you can be a good guy like Gaddafi. Remember after we whacked out Iraq?
After we told him we were going to kill him if he didn't,
Right.
we were gonna totally take him out if he didn't get rid of his nuke program.
He rolled over and he said, okay, it's not worth the nukes. I can run my own country. He got rid of his nukes. And because he didn't have weapons of mass destruction to threaten the West, he wound up dead with a stick stuck up his butt. We all saw that.
I think Imam Abdullah has one of those.
I think so.
Watch it, woman.
Now you build, but all you got to do, look at the page there again. All you got to do is build a rudimentary nuke. Back to my page. They don't have very sophisticated nukes, North Korea. They have rudimentary nuclear bombs, and you scare the world into meeting your demands.
That's right. But he's not making any demands. That's the problem.
He's going to watch. But the $64,000 question is, which way do you think Iran is going to go when they look at this guy with 25 million people with a dead country, a failed state, holding the West at bay? They're going to go, God, we're a phenomenal country. We have tremendous capability and power. We've got 70 million people. We're the Persians. We get a nuclear bomb. We can do 10 times what this guy is doing.
And they have so much oil.
Well, I think I asked that of one of our guests the other day who was an expert on Iran.
All right, Mike, back to
if that was really what Iran was
what
trying to
the
do.
end state was. Yeah, very possible. All right, so now we got to take a look at this is really fascinating, this next little bit of information. Where are you, Mark? Where'd Mark go? Our friend Mark.
For Mark Langfan?
Yeah.
So
here he is, right here.
Oh, Map Man.
Map Man, yes, Map Man.
He's smart man.
Mark has. We got a few minutes left in this
Yeah,
session.
I just
what
want
we're
to
doing,
make
folks?
sure. I just want to make sure, Imam, if you could remind me, give me like 60 seconds at the end because I need to announce some events that are happening.
Why
in
don't you
Boca
do it right
this
now, in
weekend.
case for people that are going to leave us soon?
Yeah.
driving.
On Sunday in Boca Raton, there is a march of remembrance for Holocaust Day, Yom HaShoah, and they'll be gathering on Camino and walking for a short ways. So what I wanted to do was the March of Remembrance is Sunday, April 7th for Yom HaShoah, a community event remembering the Holocaust and standing against anti-Semitism. It starts at 3 p.m. at 600 West Camino Real. That's the Grace Community Church. And at 4 p.m. they have the Remembrance Program at Sanborn Square on North Federal Highway in Boca
Why do
Raton.
the Christians care about the Jews?
And if you would like more information or you would like to participate, you can contact Gregory Mertz. His number is 561-288-0489. Or you can go to marchofremembrance.boca@gmail.com to email him, and he will send you more information and a copy of the flyer.
Yes, be there, definitely. The
Yeah,
Christians.
and there are like a dozen different interfaith,
real interfaith.
real interfaith organizations participating in this on Sunday, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that on
Okay.
Friday. Thank you.
Excellent. And 42 minutes past 5 o'clock. Tom Trento, CJ, TrentoVision, WNN 1470.
And now back to North Korea.
Yes, Mike screen. Mark Langfan, who last week told us about the North Korea's capability to fire an EMP in the atmosphere over South Korea, zap all the electronics, then have a blitzkrieg essentially and capture all these soldiers and everything. Well, today he comes out with a fascinating, actually yesterday, article that that is a response to that. I think what Mark was doing, he threw out to North Korea and said, look at what you could do. Then today he throws out an article that says, go try it, buddy. And look at the title of the article. Supreme Leader Kim, don't mess with the 509th Battle Wing. And he goes on to say in this article, he said, America's intercontinental ballistic missiles can erase your 9 million man army off the face of the earth in 7 minutes flat, right? He says, he goes on to say that the 509th bomb wing out of, where was it out of? It was out of Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. Has all the B-2 bombers, and they are the ones who flew 6,000 miles and can carry nuclear bombs. He said, they're bad. But if you really upset us, we're going to go to Malmstrom Air Force Base over in Montana, and we have some ICBMs there, intercontinental ballistic missiles, and they will reach you in 7 minutes. This is how fast these things fly. They'll reach you in 7 minutes. And you're gone. Your country's done. So if you push us enough and you fire something first, you won't have a country anymore. Start thinking about this. And then he says, oh, remember that preemptive EMP attack that was possible? Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? He said the United States just moved a sea-based X-band radar, SBX-1, to the Western Pacific Ocean. It's far enough away where it can't be impacted by the EMP, and it can at 5,000 kilometers, it could see a baseball moving through the sky. So if he Kim Jong Un fires an EMP, we will see it in a matter of seconds, and the retaliation will be the obliteration of North Korea. That's what
we
he's
reach
saying
out
there.
and touch someone.
Okay.
Then he says, Mark Langfan does, he goes, and don't get too pumped up about Secretary Hagel, Secretary of Defense, his Mike, over here for a second, his abysmal performance at his confirmation hearings. He said he's got 2 golden assets, Hagel does. He was a U.S. Senator in Nebraska, a very conservative state for many years. And he loves because he's a veteran, a highly decorated Vietnam veteran. He loves the U.S. soldier. He truly, truly loves the U.S. soldier, U.S. military. He's not going to let this psychotic capture 25,000 American soldiers. So Hagel's not going to allow that. There's movement of equipment this way. So he tells Kim Jong Un, he tells him, you know what? Everyone's entitled to a bad hair day. Mark has a great turn of phrase here. Even if they just sport a modified Mr. T crew cut like you. Just say you felt a little threatened, but now you see our exercises, all of this. I'll tell you what. Why don't you go stand down, go back to whatever you were doing, and you may get lucky. President Obama can invite you for a game of horse on the White House basketball court. And after seeing how Obama's plays, that may be a shooting match. You have a chance.
2 for 22.
Yeah, so Mark Langfan, great article, our friend.
Oh, Batman! We love
I have to tell
Batman!
you though, first of all, I don't think Kim Jong Un is actually anywhere near North Korea. I think he's probably got
gone
dozens
already.
of doubles, and he's off partying
That's a good
somewhere
point.
else in the world. And I don't think he gives a hoot about what happens to any of the millions of people who actually live in North Korea. So anything anybody threatens him with, I don't think it matters.
No, that's a very, very good point. All right, speaking of points, let's go to the next one.
Meanwhile,
can
yeah,
two boobs out-boob a boob?
Yeah, we're getting close
We
to the...
behind schedule.
That's
Come
all right.
on.
We're not too bad. We're not too bad.
No, we're okay.
Yeah, I could push off the stuff.
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
I
extraneous
see.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Mike,
yeah.
to my screen.
Yeah.
This is a young lady who, in 2008, Anna Hutsol from the Ukraine, the lady in the red hair. She said, "You know what? We're not getting enough attention. We women in the West, in Europe, in the Ukraine, and no one's listening to us. We need more rights. We're tired of religious authority. We're tired of sexual rules, all this stuff. I'm going to protest." And I hold signs someplace, and it does nothing. And so she started in the Ukraine in 2008, topless protesting. Mm-hmm. The women would take off their tops and then draw words, write words on them, get arrested, but it'd be all over the world's internet. Mm-hmm. Actually, a very brilliant move. Mm-hmm. So and they have
we
a
should
few.
do that on the show.
They have a few hundred people that are. No, it's okay. That picture's okay. They have a few. That picture's been modified, so there's nothing wrong with it. They have a few hundred people that belong to their movement called Femen, F-E-M-E-N. Last month, this young lady, Annie Tyler from Tunisia, she's 19 years old. She said, there's too many rules in Islam, too many laws, I'm going to join with my sisters in the Ukraine. And that's what she did. She posed like that, and she wrote the Tunisian words that said freedom and, actually what that says, I'll tell you exactly what it says, because the article is right here. That says, on her, she wrote, "My body is my own and not the source of anyone's honor." All the honor killings. Mm-hmm. And then the F word, F your morals. So she wrote that. That's this picture right here.
I killed her.
If you're watching us, she's nude from the waist up, but her breasts have been digitized, so there's nothing wrong with the picture. And she wrote on her chests, a protest. This is a month ago in Tunisia. Guess what? Guess where she is now?
Jail.
She is in a psychiatric hospital. Listen to this. She was trying to start a branch of Femen in the Ukraine. And so she uploaded these pictures on Facebook. Facebook again. The head of the Commission for the Promotion of Virtue and the Prevention of Vice in Tunisia. That's a mouthful. Yeah. They are the enforcers of Sharia law.
Right. I guess that's part of their Arab Spring.
Yeah, they expressed major disgust at what she did. Mm-hmm. This lady should be punished. These are the Muslim Sharia law people in Tunisia. Mm-hmm. This lady should be punished according to the Sharia with 80 to 100 lashes. But because of the severity, to me, Mike, severity of her act, she's committed, she deserves to be what? Killed, stoned to death.
Absolutely.
Her act could bring about an epidemic. It could be contagious and give ideas to other women. It is therefore necessary to isolate the incident. I wish her to be healed. by taking her head off. He wishes her to be healed.
It is like a combination. It's like a
So
pasta
it puts her in
blasphemy.
a psychiatric hospital like the communists in the Soviet Union used to do, because if you oppose the state or the totalitarian regime that you live under, you must be mentally ill, and therefore you need to be treated for psychiatric
Re-educated.
problems.
Yep.
You need
Re-educated.
to be re-educated by doctors.
Well, guess what?
Lobotomized, shock therapy, whatever.
After she posted this a month ago, she was in touch with the Ukraine women, and all of a sudden her phone went dead, and they can't contact her anymore. And you know, and the mother, her mother said, her aunt said, "Oh, my niece killed herself." Right? She goes, she killed herself, and she's gone. Right? And then all of a sudden the truth comes out. She was arrested, put into a psychiatric hospital, and that's where she is right now. So 2008, the movement out of the Ukraine for women's rights, it's almost like the ERA,
So instead of burning their bras, they
Right.
just
Take
take
'em off.
their shirts off and don't wear any.
Yeah, so that's the movement coming out of the
get it.
Ukraine. And this woman, 19-year-old girl in Tunisia, says, good idea. She does it a month ago. Now the Ukraine people found out that, oh my God, she's in a psychiatric hospital. We've got to stand in solidarity with our sister. So yesterday, now we got to be real careful,
Now,
because these pictures are not
show them.
blurred out. So
We're not touchy yet.
yeah, don't
You're
do
not touched
anything.
yet.
Don't do anything until I tell you. We don't want to slip.
Show the boobies.
We don't want to slip here.
I'm just pulling it up on the preview.
Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. No, not that
We
one.
don't want anyone's eyes to burn from their
Yes,
heads.
they will fall right out. Yeah. Yeah, we're probably not. It wasn't that good.
CJ was just saying that Louis Farrakhan spoke at the Tuskegee Institute,
Yes, he
Did
did.
he really?
And
but no Pam Geller at synagogue.
yeah, right, exactly. He spoke to high school kids, and he spoke about the United States creating a plan to kill 2 billion people in the world by poisoning the food supply and using uranium in all its weapons to kill people for thousands of years.
Back to the boobies.
Don't look at my screen. Okay.
Don't look at
This one's okay. All right, Mike, come to this one. This is yesterday. Now, here's a bunch of women activists standing in solidarity with Anita.
with some men who want to
Amina?
stand in
I know.
solidarity with them, apparently.
Amina Tyler, and this is near Tunisia's embassy in Paris. This was yesterday in Paris. A bunch of women took off their tops, wrote solidarity statements, drew their pictures on their body. Right, come back to me, not to the screen. I'm going to show you a few of these. How about this one, CJ? Can we do that one?
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, look it over there.
Oh, no, yeah.
How about that one? No, it's got curses all
Oh,
over.
very bad, very bad.
How about that one? No.
Very bad. One more, I think.
No. This one's okay. Hold
That
it.
is okay.
Let me cue it up. Let me cue. Oh.
What are you doing?
Wait until what I'm doing for the folks out there. I'm queuing it up on my computer, and then Mike switches it over. Okay, you can look at this one. This is in the consulate of. I don't want to touch this. Mike, don't. Yes, come back to me for a second. We got to be.
You're making this tricky.
Yeah, come back to me. It's a little tricky.
Women are very tricky, Michael.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
No. I got to check the name out. I got to scroll down, but it goes too fast. We're dead. All right, stay right there. Don't look. Okay, this is in Milan. Okay, this is Milano. Come on back. This is in Italy. There will be millions of Aminas, free Amina.
Tunisian consulate in Milan.
Yeah, the Tunisian consulate in Milan. Okay, come back to me. And what we're showing to the ones just listening, we're showing a bunch of nude women, but the shots we're showing don't show any private parts, just their backs, their arms.
If you're really, really curious and you Google free Amina, you can see all the
All the nude
pictures you
pictures,
want to.
yeah. And here they are outside the consulate in Milan. They were in Paris. Here's in Kiev, in the Ukraine. That one, what do you think about that one?
Yeah.
That's in Kiev. That's a little crazy. No, that one's good. Yeah, come here. This is the activist of the Communist Youth Organization alongside the women's movement. So the communists now have jumped in, and they're supporting.
That's in Stockholm.
This is in Stockholm, Sweden, and that's Amina, who's being held in prison in a psychiatric hospital right now
Yeah.
in Tunisia.
She must be crazy.
So let's take a step back. What do you back to us, Mike? I mean, these are the kind of things that have the capability to ignite a movement.
Yeah.
As bizarre as it is, as kind of, you know, for particularly for conservative Christians and Jews, and we don't be looking at all this nude stuff, all of that. But in terms of fighting the Sharia in Islamic countries, and many of these pictures we couldn't show you say no Islam, down with Islam. I mean, they're going after the Sharia and the morality of Islam.
This has more legs than the Green Revolution.
This can. I mean, if women get unified on this could be something that could be extremely interesting. How are they going to deal with thousands
Well, I
of
don't
women?
think you're going to see a lot of those demonstrations in the United States or Canada. So I think.
Who cares
I think
here? It's not a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
The nude thing has been burnt out. It's not a big
Yeah.
deal here. You know, I mean, Christianity and Judaism have rigorous rules too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if a bunch of Christian women did this, they wouldn't. But if they did, you know, they would. It would be a ho hum. I mean, nobody would care. It'd be just look at the idiots. But in Islam, they can't allow this to go on. So on our Freaky Friday Jum'ah Jam, you know, we bring you the Jum'ah Prayer, little getting inside the mind of the Islamic mind, particularly as they have hanging over them the sword of Damocles, 3 of them. You know, actually one sword, you get 3 shots. If the sword falls and hits you, you are sealed by Allah and stamped never to be involved in Islam again. That's why there's such fervorous commitment, and the Jumu'ah is so critical. Touched on North Korea, we're going to keep our eye on that. But we see a direct attack against the Sharia now going on in Tunisia, a totally Sharia-compliant country. Now, Tunisia is where the Arab Spring started also. So we're going to keep our eyes on this nude movement going around. But for now, it looks like we got to say goodbye once again. We're going to go out with your lovely music.
With your prayers.
What do you think, CJ? Had a good week?
I don't know. I think there was a film made where a woman was painted with verses from the Quran.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
now,
Theo Van Gogh.
And now people are living under death threats in their own
Yeah.
country because of that.
Yeah, that was Theo Van Gogh
That was
and
Theo Van Gogh's film.
Ali.
And now Ayan Hirsi Ali.
Yeah, Ayan Hirsi Ali.
Yeah.
Was called.
And now these women are putting themselves at real risk.
They certainly are.
You know, they may think they're doing something fun and cute, but
This is serious. This is serious stuff.
serious stuff.
But we'll keep you abreast of this, okay?
Ah, gosh.
How was that? I just thought of that.
no.
I just thought of that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll keep you abreast of this.
All
Bye,
right. Have
everybody.
a good weekend.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.